Hello and welcome to the overview for the JAK-12, or as most people will know it, the AA-12, a fully automatic shotgun that has just been brought into Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The question on everybody's lips, of course, is just how powerful is this weapon? And I can confirm right now it is, in fact, ridiculous. As you can see here, these are all the choices for your muzzle attachments. I'm actually debating between the Forged Attack Marauder and the Monolithic Suppressor for the majority of my guns at the moment. Then you've got a couple of barrels, some people like the shorter ones, standard array of under barrels. This is where it gets interesting. The ammunition, 32 round drum mags, explosive rounds, dragon breath rounds, slug rounds, and a 20 round drum mag on an automatic shotgun. This gun is every bit as ridiculous as you probably think it is. Then you've got standard rear grips, pretty much the standard array of perks, and of course your stocks here, as well as a load of sights to throw stuff at. Only thing missing here is sniper sights. For good reason, it is supposed to be a shotgun, although it hasn't really played out that way so far. And of course your standard array of lasers. One more thing to keep an eye out with this gun is that there isn't really a bad way to configure it at the moment. It is in fact a ridiculous gun. Right now this is in slug mode, but take this with dragon breath rounds in, you'll be doing great. Take it with explosive rounds into Warzone, and you'll be blowing up vehicles very, very easily, as the explosive rounds do not get stopped by trophy systems. You can also take off the underbarrel, put on lasers for faster aim down sights. Basically, the thing about this weapon is because it's fully automatic and hits ridiculously hard, it's good in every single variant. This is the variant I actually ended up using for some of the clips you'll see here in this video. You can use Dragon Breath rounds if you want to go into Warzone with it. They work just as well. You can use 20 drum mags. You can use 32 drum mags. I went for 20. I just felt like it was a good compromise, and it worked out plenty well for me. If you want more speed, feel free to throw on things like a better stock or stipple grip tape. There is no bad way to run this gun at the moment. It's genuinely ridiculous. I've got on a longer barrel and the Forged Attack Marauder because I wanted a bit more damage range when I was using a shotgun. But other than that, it's not really needed. Like, you can run pretty much anything here. I end up running it into multiplayer with the standard blueprint here, and it's a monster. You can one-shot people with it. These are actually the explosive rounds. You can use the slug rounds, but, you know, if I can have ones explode and do the same amount of damage, why not? They're just a little bit slower. Quite simply, if you are looking now to play with a shotgun or a shotgun variant, you know, then you can pretty much rely on this. This also does fantastically well, and this is the thing why I had on the extra damage range. Running just normal 12 gauge rounds means you can still take people down. Here I do end up getting one shot by the fire shotgun, but it doesn't really matter. Now, trying this out in Warzone, because sometimes guns work in multiplayer really well, they don't work on Warzone so much. I saw some clips running around of people using this with slugs in Warzone. I don't recommend it. I just don't think it's worth. It's good, but it's not something that, you know, can't do with an SKS. Explosive rounds has the benefit of blowing up vehicles, as I said earlier on in this video, but realistically, Dragon's Breath rounds, or we're going to be talking about the fantastic drum mags that you can get. And that makes all the difference. This gun, so powerful, combines the best of the Origin and the R09. You can have your Dragon Breath rounds. You have the benefit if you want to take it as a longer range weapon or a vehicle destroyer. It's a little bit niche, but you can use it. You can also have it as a fully automatic building holder. It will just shut down enemy teams' pushes, especially, you know, Dragon's Breath round. People are going to get confused as waves of automatic flame pour down the stairs. Or if you've got 20 or 32 shotgun shells to continue firing over and over again without having to reload, as you just saw in the clip right there. It is a weapon for pretty much any occasion, and that's why this gun right now I think is a little bit broken. There is no, oh, we'll use it this way, it will be quite efficient, and it's broken in just one regard. It is actually broken in almost every single way that you can be. I don't know how they would fix this. I would suspect that maybe if you put on explosive rounds or slug rounds, maybe it turns into a single shot. Does that help it out? Essentially, I think it needs a damage nerf as well, even with the 12 gauge rounds, because like you've seen, you can still take down teams in Warzone with it. It is point blank with it as well, so it's still a good shotgun. But like the Origin, where before you had to at least have a trigger finger to fire downstairs, now just hold down the trigger and just waves upon waves of damage come out, and there's nothing most people can do about it. I am dreading having to face this in Warzone when it comes to the time. Dragon Breath rounds are going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem if people have got a lot of rounds in it with the big drum mags. It's going to be a problem if they've got explosive rounds and I'm in a vehicle, because a trophy won't actually save me then either. The only time I won't be too bothered is if they use slug rounds. Slug rounds, while they did get a buff, you can still end up using any sort of like DMR to kind of do the same amount of damage, or an assault rifle. It's more viable for that. I don't think it's a long-range weapon for those reasons outside of multiplayer. In multiplayer, you can one-hit kill. In Warzone, you won't do it with it really at any sort of range, and the bullet drop and everything becomes a little bit of a problem. But in almost every other single way, this gun is viable to run. And that's an issue. That is a very serious problem for a lot of people, and I am wondering how they are going to fix this eventually. Have fun with it, try out the barrels, try out all the different attachments you can get. I don't think you're going to really struggle to run it most ways. You know, if you go for a very close quarters, then maybe you could go for a faster aim down sight speed, get that pellet spread a little bit wider if you like it. For me, I've given you a couple of examples to show you how I think you could run, and it worked pretty effectively for me. But yeah, that's pretty much this new AA-12, a ridiculously powerful shotgun that has just been introduced to the game. I hope you all enjoy using it. I look forward to seeing how they change it in the future. But that's been an overview for the JAK-12. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
This one.